I think we've been running out the hinky talk. We should probably go over to Phil Jackson, talking about potential here. A team with maybe a lot of potential, maybe a lot of back here.
Maybe they need some draft picks.
Maybe they need some draft picks.
Melo, could you work on that and waive that no trade clause?
And maybe, maybe Melo's staying. Maybe Kurt Rambis is staying.
Maybe Kurt Rambis is the answer, people.
Maybe we're going to talk about Kurt Rambis possibly being the future head coach for the New York Knicks. There's
long-term, baby.
There's talks about him being the long-term head coach for the New York Knicks. Is this a bad move?
I can't see how it's a good move.
I don't think how anything in New York is a good move. Yeah, and I'm looking at the Kurt Rambis goggles picture.
I mean, wow.
Rambis, he took over for a bad team, and he hasn't done anything with this team. And
what can you do with this team? You've
Nothing.
got Porzingis,
It's a shit
and you've got
team.
Melo, and you've got an okay Aflalo when he's healthy. I mean, it's just like there's not
cheap
enough
Aflalo.
pieces.
No, there's not. You have Melo, Melo's your star, but Melo's aging. That might be the trade that the Sixers might be like, oh yeah, we're going to get rid of Okafor and get Anthony, who's like falling off of the latter half of his career and just going to go to another terrible
I'm going to go 2K Ricky on this shit.
All right, do it.
We're giving up Okafor. We're giving up
Embiid?
No. You got it's got to be Okafor. It's got to be your first pick coming up, and possibly another pick, but probably not the Lakers. Like one of those two out of the Lakers in their first, or one of the later ones. So it's going to be 2 first-rounders, pretty much, and Ja for Melo.
So
That's the only thing. But contracts, I don't even know.
I think
It's insane.
I think you have Porzingis, who's obviously this bright spot here, but is Kurt Rambis? Could Kurt Rambis do anything, or is it mostly Phil Jackson's side where he needs to bring in different players? What do you think needs to change in New York? Do you think Kurt Rambis could do something with a team? Do you think they're like, all right, well, Kurt Rambis knows the triangle offense system?
I think this is exactly that. Phil trusts Kurt. They have a relationship from L.A., and it's like, hey, you know what? Derek Fisher I thought was going to be my boy. I need someone to run the triangle. Let's go. You're going to be my guy. You're the guy I can trust to be my yes man and run what I want to run. And the one thing I want to say is when I was watching ESPN and they were talking about Kurt Rambis, one of the biggest things that the pundits brought up was, oh, well, did you see his 2 years in Minnesota? How many games he won? Did you see the fucking roster on those teams? Like, yeah, you had Kevin Love, but your starting center was Darko Milicic.
That's how you draft right.
Some would say, and not even drafted by the T-Wolves.
It's true.
No,
true.
Drafted by the Pistons.
Yeah, and you
won a
missed.
championship earlier than LeBron. Let me remind you that.
We know the whole story of that draft.
Yep.
You missed out on Carmelo and D Wade and Bosh.
Some would say he's better than them. Some would say he's better because he got a ring first. But the starting 5 in the last year in Minnesota: Milicic, Love, Michael B. Easley, Wesley Johnson, and Luke Ridnour. That's your starting 5. Do you really think? Anthony Randolph was on that team. Wayne Ellington, Johnny Flynn.
Well, Johnny Flynn, great pick again.
It's like, did you expect that team to do anything and not go 17-65?
So you think Kurt Rambis should get a shot?
Yeah, I think he should. And the Knicks are the only team where he would get that shot. Unless Phil Jackson goes to L.A.
I think Kurt Rambis is at least a step up from Derek Fisher. I hate saying that. Like, I halfway through that thought, I was like, I'm going to regret this. But I think he's at least a step up because he's been an NBA coach. He has some experience. He's a older guy. Because it's hard taking, constructive words from Derek Fisher when, last year you were kicking his ass.
Yeah.
So I think there's a different level of respect that comes with having Kurt step in here. Professionalism, definitely. No flying across country, crazy stories. So what I see is someone stable for Phil to coach and mentor into running his system. Will that happen successfully? Define success. If it means winning more games, I don't know, because they need new pieces.
All right.
If I was Kurt Rambis, I'd flip over the chessboard and be like, I need a new team.
Well, Kurt Rambis was technically the head coach in 98-99 for the Lakers. I know Rick Fox, Derek Fisher, Kobe, Shaq. Ty Lue. Pretty good team.
That step over.
So, I mean, hey, look at what he can do with a good team.
Do you think Phil stays around though? Do you think?
Yeah, he's getting paid $12 million. Yeah, he's going to stick for that money.
It's hard to say.
You kind of brought up that the Lakers might be looking at bringing back Phil Jackson, not for coaching obviously, but like you brought
maybe he's
it
a
up.
bust replacement. Obviously, his wife Jeannie owns the organization, runs it, but her brother is definitely on the hot seat.
Can't fire Jim.
I think you got to fire Jim. I think
What
you need a new
about Johnny?
VP. I think you need a new VP of basketball operations. His name is little Phil Jackson.
So basically, the
bring the Zen Master back home.
Espin of or Epstein of the Lakers. That's what he's going to be.
Bring him back. Bring him back.
I mean, do you think Phil Jackson has the right vision? We just talked about Sam Hinkie's vision. Does Sam Hinkie need to be the new GM of the Knicks?
No.
Sam
Hinkie destroyed
Hinkie.
that Philly team.
I think we're on complete different spectrums of Hinkie right there. And I think, but I mean, do you think Phil has that vision?
I think Phil still cares about the Lakers more than the Knicks, even though he's not.
I think he cares about weed.
Well, I mean,
he enjoys his free time. He is the Zen Master.
Well, I mean, what was it? Stephen A. that said on Sports Center or whatever show that he was on, or probably said it on numerous sounds, where he's like, yeah, he only took it for the money, doesn't want to be here, kept raising the price until Dolan got high enough to where it was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll take it. And doesn't want to be in New York, doesn't care about New York. I don't know if he really doesn't care because he wants to do a good job, I feel. But at the same time,
he was a Knick. That was his career. Come on.
At the same time, I go, he did draft Porzingis, and you guys fucking went batshit crazy when he drafted him, and now it looks like it. Okay, might have not been as bad as we wanted.
Don't question Phil's decisions.
However, Kurt Rambis can only work for Phil Jackson, and that's how it is. Like, Phil Jackson needs that guy who's gonna run the triangle. Kurt Rambis, I said it before, he can be the yes man to Phil Jackson.
You think he has no other options in the NBA as far as head coaching?
No,
I mean, Luke Walton.
All the other coaches. Are we talking the Knicks or are we talking Kurt Rambis?
I'm talking the Knicks.
Well,
Phil Jackson has no other options.
They could go Luke Walton. There's Thibodeau's out there. There are names out there.
I think the concern is money because Phil's taking up so much money up top that you can't afford a Luke Walton.
You can pay Kurt cheaper than you would pay Walton or Thibodeau.
I mean, I think Walton fits best, and I think you are in New York. You have a lot of money there. I mean, so I think
Phil is making more money than
I think they could swing it though. I think they can find some way to sign Luke Walton. But I mean, obviously, if they're trying to save money, then yeah, they'll go with Kurt Rambis. But I think that's going to set this team back a lot, even with the roster. I mean, Kurt Rambis, he's a good assistant head coach, but I don't know if he is the guy, and I don't think he should be the guy anywhere. And I mean, looking at Luke Walton, I think Luke Walton is the big ticket out there. And I think Luke has proven that he can do well. I mean, even though he has the best team in the NBA, I still think he's done a fantastic job.
My case in point, there's an article on the New York Knicks ESPN team page that says, Kurt Rambis, Knicks didn't practice triangle enough under Derek Fisher. Boom, that's why.
Hey.
That is why he's the head coach for Phil.
But he's calling out Derek Fisher.
He's calling out Derek Fisher, and that is why Kurt Rambis is being the guy. Like, that's why he's going to be the head coach of the Knicks, because he's going to not even just run the triangle, he's going to work on the triangle, he's going to embed that triangle into brains.
And I think that'd be fantastic. Think about this. I mean, we've always had the concerns about Carmelo and his work ethic. So, I mean, if you can get a head coach who is passionate enough to get his buy-in, then yeah, maybe the triangle could work for this team. Maybe they are 1-2 players away in free agency from making this team flip around to be, you know, a 6th seed in the playoffs in the East. That's not asking too much in one season. Expecting Porzingis' growth and seeing how weak the East is.
So do you think that the Knicks can turn it around in a year? Do you think they will do it this year and get into the playoffs next year?
I think they could be a playoff team next year with Kurt Rambis. Absolutely. I think that's definitely within the realm.
Ricky?
To me, it depends on who they get in free agency and who they, not going to get in the draft. They have no draft picks. But
they could trade some players for a draft pick.
If they trade people for draft picks, I feel confident in Rambis as a coach, but only for the Knicks because he runs the triangle.
He knows the system.
That's what Phil needs.
I think that
Phil needs a yes man.
I think looking at it, I don't think the Knicks are making the playoffs next year with Rambis that they had. I just don't think you need a point guard there. Maybe you bring in Rondo. But, I mean, there's character concerns with Rondo. Will he work with Melo? Will he work with Porzingis? I just don't see that guy out there in free agency that they could sign and make this team much better. And I don't think Carmelo can carry this team anymore. I think he needs a lot of help. And, again, can Porzingis develop? I just don't think it's going to happen. And I don't think the Knicks are making the playoffs next year with Rambis at the head. And even with Luke Walton at the head, I still don't see it happening. I think, this team is still a couple years away from making the playoffs again.
Yeah, I mean, unless something absolutely crazy happens where Melo restructures a contract,
or you trade Melo,
or he throws out his no trade clause, that's the only quick switch for this team. Otherwise, you're gonna have to wait out that contract. You're gonna luckily have Porzingis developing in the meantime, but you're kind of stuck on hold for a couple of years until you have some availability, some options available to you.
Any final thoughts, about this topic, about any of the topics we touched upon, or any topics we didn't touch upon?
Phil would be happier in LA, and I think that he really should take it, but he's not going to because cash money's he's all about the green, man.
Maybe you should try to go. Yeah, maybe you should go to Denver. Be all about that green up there. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this week's Fast Break podcast. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. We covered Kurt Rambis. We covered Sam Hinkie. We covered Thon Maker. What else could you ask for? So just tell us how big of an idiot we are in the comments.
Maybe a Wooden Award winning player.
Buddy Hield.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about Buddy Hield more. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. If you're on SoundCloud, hit that red like button, repost this to all your friends, follow us on SoundCloud so you never miss a Fast Break, Onside Kick, Primetime Podcast, all the great content we're giving you on SoundCloud. If you're on YouTube, like this video, subscribe to our channel. We hit 1,000, so thank you very much for that. We didn't mention that. Thank you so much for doing that for us. We're so glad. We're so happy, and we wouldn't be here without you guys. And we appreciate it here. And I think we might be doing some more stuff if you guys keep supporting us. So
and you also got share this video out. Help us get more than 1,000.
I was getting there.
Now that you guys did it, Sean, I'll let you take it. I thought you weren't going to add it in.
Share this video if you really loved it, because
share all of our videos.
We appreciate you watching, and there's a great social media guy for MVP Network, and if you do want to talk to us,
I hear he's a great looking guy too.
I hear he's sexy man. And if you do want to talk to us, follow us on Twitter at Most Valuable Pod. If you are on Snapchat, add us as a friend, also at Most Valuable Pod. Follow us on Facebook. Well, tell your mom to like us on Facebook, because really that's who's on Facebook nowadays. And anyways, I think that's gonna wrap it up. I think that's all our social media stuff we got. So for Ricky, for Dave, I'm Sean Anderson, and we will see you next week.
Thank you for listening to this MVP podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Most Valuable Pod for more great podcasts.